Hey, good morning, everybody. It's about 10 o'clock. Today's date, 10 a.m., excuse me. 11/19/2010, gold 1350, silver 26.98, ratios 50-1. As I've stated many times before, I'm looking for 10-1. Call me crazy. I'm going to read a little bit of something. I finally got my studying hat back on. You know, I'm feeling a little better. And I got this off of a site, and what I did was, here's you guys gonna crack up. So I asked a person who's in college. Let me grab my phone here real quick, and I'll get the text. And I asked her to ask her college professor, her econ professor, who owns the Fed. That's all I wanted to know. And she said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "All I want to know, I'll know whether or not he knows what he's talking about by the answer he gives you." So let me see if I can find it real quick. His answer was this: "Hey Mike, it's Brenda." This is my friend talking to me. All he said was that it was owned by a federal institution. And then he said, "It is ultimately owned by us." Now, I don't know about you. How many things do you own that you can't control? And by any means whatsoever. The Fed is not auditable. They print money at will. It's owned by other entities outside the U.S. They kind of do whatever they want. So when I punched it into Google, it says, "Who owns the Fed? Who owns the Federal Reserve, and why don't you know?" Okay, so I'm just going to read one paragraph, just one paragraph, and I'll see what you guys think about this. This is talking about a job, a relatively large job called Muscle Shoals Dam. Muscle Shoals Dam. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It says this: "People who will not turn a shovel full of dirt on the project, nor contribute a pound of material, will collect more money than the United States will, than the United States people will, who supply all the materials and do all the work. This is a terrible thing about interest. But here is the point. If the nation can issue a dollar bond, it can also issue a dollar bill. The elements that make the bond good also make the bill good. The difference between the bond and the bill, the bond lets the money broker collect twice the amount of the bond and an additional 20%. Whereas, now get this, whereas the currency, the honest sort provided by the Constitution, pays nobody but those who contribute in some useful way." So again, the bond lets them collect twice the bond plus 20%. They've contributed nothing. The currency only lets the people who've contributed in some useful way collect that currency. It is absurd to say our country can issue bonds and cannot issue currency. Both are promises to pay, but one fattens the user and the other one helps the people. The currency issued by people were no good. If they were no good, then the bonds would also be no good. It is a terrible situation when the government, to ensure national wealth, must go into debt and submit to ruinous interest charges at the hands of men who control the fictitious value of gold. Interest is the invention of Satan. This was spoken by Thomas A. Edison. I think we know who he is. So I kind of chopped that up a little bit. You know, my reading isn't the best. Probably need glasses. But bottom line is, so those who produce nothing get to keep all the wealth? Well, I'm one of the people that want to change that. You know, and so that right there, that report's 83 pages long. You know, I think that if you want to expect greater mileage out of your gold and silver, then you must study. That is what I call studying. Reading. I don't want to say abstract information about what's going on, but definitely going back in history definitely serves a purpose. And once again, just study up. You know, if you guys don't know who I study up, go back over some of my videos and take a look. You guys will hear me repeating a lot of the same names. And, you know, it's just a good thing to read. Just read a lot. Now, updates on what's going on with me. I am very, very busy. I've just bought some new software for an affiliate program, basically. And I'm going through that. So I'm studying it. You get a free 30-day trial. I am trying to promote my e-businesses, as you know. My son's business, we figure he'll probably do twice the amount of cash flow this next year as he did this year, which is a good thing. And then so here's the deal. My promise to my viewers is this. If I get something that makes that I can actually rub some dollars together, you know, certainly $5,500 last summer for his business, not knowing mostly what I'm doing, I'm pretty proud of that. You know, helping him, kind of cracking the whip on my wife and my son, getting them to do that. But I'm going to tell you this, that I definitely plan to turn this thing up a notch. I plan to make money in the interim. As Southern Liberty says, you know, old Mike over there, he says, hey, it's not going to go from where we're at now to doomsday tomorrow, most likely. We're going to have an interim, and you are going to have to provide for your family and yourself in that interim. And that is what I'm doing right now. I don't know what it's going to be like after all this blows over. And I'm also not building a shrine to my pile of silver. Yeah, I got quite a bit of silver, but the bottom line is I don't think that's all there is. I don't think that's all I'm going to need to make it. As I study more and more, I realize how much more I don't know. So anyway, this is Morgan SLV, just letting everybody know that I appreciate you guys hanging out. And if you have any questions on what I'm doing, don't worry about it. I will let you know what's going on. The minute I start making cash flow, I'm going to share it with you people just like you guys were my own family. Morgan SLV out.